All right, y'all. So I've been wanting to make this type of video for maybe 2 years now. Um, and of course, it's about grief, like how to live while grieving. Um, I will say that I always felt like I didn't really need to make the video until I was actually done grieving. I thought I was done like at the beginning of 2021. I have finally came at peace with my sister passing because everyone knows the way my sister died um, was very tragic, and so many other things was surrounding it, like the court cases and how it kept getting pushed back and yada yada yada. So with all that going on, that slows up the grieving process. So of course 2021, I knew the final court case was coming, and the girl began sentence. um I finally came at peace with my sister being gone. That's not to say that I still do not miss her. Like, I just miss my sister because I'm definitely trying to do this video without crying. And the fact that I am grieving once again because I just lost my best friend a couple of weeks ago. Um, which this grief process is a little bit different, not that much different, but I don't know. Like, it's just a little different than the other ones. It feels like I'm becoming numb to grieving, which I don't know if that's healthy or not. Um, that's something I'll take up with my therapist. But anyways, the point of this video is for me to pretty much give people some tips on how I've made it through my grieving process so far, and pretty much what I'm going to continue to do to make it through this grieving process. um I will say most of the things that I do, they pertain to my faith. I'm a Christian. So pretty much it's gonna be a lot about focusing on God and your faith. So you will see me look down from time to time because the older I get, my memory is just like non-existing. So I had to jot down some things so I could stay on track. So I will say that being a Christian, I feel like we have more power than we think we do when we're going through things, because we have that power to just call on God when we are feeling weak and when we feel like we just can't do this thing no more. Yes, I said no more. Because it gets to that point where you just like, God, like, really, like, this is this a hard blow. So I would say, of course, when you're grieving, grieve how you feel like you need to grieve. I always tell people, allow people to grieve how they need to grieve and how they want to grieve. If they are not hurting themselves, if they're not hurting anyone else, if they're not disrespecting nobody else, if they're not becoming an addict or using negative coping mechanisms, allow them to grieve how they need to grieve, because how you grieve is not how someone else will grieve. You might be the type of person who's like, the person, now they're in the presence of the Lord, and now they don't have to go through everything that I'm still going through, so I'm at peace. But some people, it's just that it really really hurts, and some people, they just struggle with it, because I know I'm that person. Like, when I become attached to people, I'm attached. Like, I love you, So when you lose someone that you really, 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 really love, and you're someone like me, and you love like super hard, it's hard when you lose someone. that was very, very close to you. Um, so I will say, when you are going through this process, just continue to speak over your life. Like, don't give up. If it's just got to be you and God, just be like, I'm going to make it through. I'm going to make it through. I don't care if you got to say that every morning. Say, I'm going to make it through. Like, I'm having a rough day, but I'm going to get through it. I'm going to get through it. I don't care if that's all you got to say, because we all know there's power in your tongue. So if you continue to speak the positive things, it will help you get through it. Even though it's hard, it's going to be hard, but you will get through it. Um, One thing that really, 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 really helped me during these times, I've been grieving for like the past 5 years. Like I told my therapist the other night, I said, I feel like I have not had a break. Like, I feel like I've been grieving since 2017 when I lost my daddy. So, I have not had a break. And so that's why I said in the beginning of the video, like, I felt like I really don't need to make the video until I'm completely healed. But Thursday morning, this past Thursday, it just came in my spirit like, girl, make this video, because I see so many people who are grieving and they're struggling. And I understand how they feel. It's hard, like I said, but you will get through it. You will definitely get through it. But one main thing I did and still do, because it's just how I am, I worship. Everybody worships differently. The way I like to worship is I love music. Like, I just love music. So I already had a routine of driving to work, and it's just my worship music. You know, that's just like, it's a time for me and God. Even like when I first wake up, that's the first thing I put on. I'm worshiping. So as I'm getting ready, you know, in the grieving process, yeah, some songs might start hitting, so I'm just crying. So I'm crying, getting ready for work. It is what it is, because I know I need to release what I'm feeling. And the best way for me to release is to worship. Um and talking about it sometimes, but sometimes talking about it is harder. So I feel like worshiping is easier for me. Um and I worship because I need to continue to keep my mind on God, like, period. Because once your mind is going and not focused on God, I feel like it's a wrap. Like, as long as you can keep your mind strong, your spirit will be strong. I feel like those two go hand in hand. So I think you really need to focus on your spiritual health and your mental health while you're grieving. Because you got those two on track, everything else will flow, like your physical well-being and, you know, everything else. You'll be able to focus in life. You'll be good. Like I said, it's still gonna be hard, but you'll be good. um so when it comes to like support, I would say definitely lean on your support system. You know, sometimes some people, they say things that you're like, I really don't want to hear that right now, because I'm like that. Like, I don't want to hear that. Like, I already know this, you know. But people mean well, so I don't really take it personal. It's just that people don't understand sometimes when you're going through things and you don't have anybody else who really truly understands what you're going through. It's like you rather just be left alone, because that's how I feel. I don't know anybody personally who has lost this many people within this short time span, because 5 years is not a long time. It's really not. So I feel like when you're grieving, you need to definitely connect with people who are feeling how you're feeling, because I believe it helps. What's crazy is I've met a couple of people who lost parents, you know, because I lost my dad. So like when I talk to them, it's like, like they get me, you know, like they understand where I'm coming from. And then it helps you think like, okay, I'm not in this alone. Like it's other people who are experiencing what I'm experiencing, which you already know that, but to have someone that's um, like really in your life, and maybe you might work with this person or you actually became friends with this person, like it definitely helps. And so like, and also another one is we have a lady who just started at my job, and we was just talking on her first day, and she mentioned how she lost her sister, and I was like, I lost my sister too. And I'm like, dang, I don't meet too many people who have lost their siblings. And so, not to say I'm happy that she lost her sister, but it's like I'm happy that I have someone else who understands what I'm going through, because it may be a day when I'm at work and I'm just having a rough day, and she could be that person I can go to and actually talk to, and she's actually going to understand all the emotions that I'm feeling. So it definitely helps to have people who understand what you're going through, like fully understand what you're going through. This is not to say that you should just cast out your other support system. Like, of course, keep your other support system, because they're going to be the ones that keep some type of normalcy in your life, because you need that normalcy. Now it's like you have a new normal, but these people, they have been there before this person passed. So these are the people that's going to keep that sense of normalcy in your life, and that's what you definitely need while you're grieving. You don't need too many transitions going on. You need as much normalcy, and to keep and stick to your routine as much as you can, because that helps as well. Like, don't try to add something new in your routine while you're trying to grieve, or while it's the beginning of grieving, maybe I should say that. Because I feel like grief just lasts, because it's always going to hit you at some point in time, but I'll get to that a little bit later. But yeah, just continue to live your life. Continue to stick to your routine. Continue to accomplish your goals that you set forth, because I'm pretty sure the person that you're grieving over, they want you still to accomplish those goals. Like, don't stop living your life. Like, yes, you're hurting, but that does not mean that it is over. It ain't over until God calls you home. So you just have to keep fighting, and you have to keep fighting. Even if that means tears in your eyes and you like, oh y'all, I need a moment, I gotta step away. But you're not giving up. That is the whole point. Um Missing your loved ones, you're always gonna miss them. It's always gonna be something that reminds you of that person. Like with my daddy. I go to Food Line chicken, the fried chicken. Before my daddy passed, he used to love for me to go get some Food Line chicken for him. And that chicken be hitting. And I really didn't even start eating it until my mama was like, yeah, one day I bought some Food Line chicken. I was like, that's crazy, because daddy used to make me used to ask me to go get that for him. And I just bought some one day, and baby, that chicken is good. I feel like it's better than farm fresh chicken. Like, that chicken be good. If you ain't know, go ahead and get that fried chicken from Food Line. Y'all know I'm a foodie, so I'm gonna tell you what's good. But yeah, so stuff like that makes me miss my dad. When it comes like my other people that I lost, like my sister, what makes me think about her, probably like food, like Italian food, because she used to love pasta. Like my sister loved pasta. Salmon. She always cooked it well. I can't cook salmon. Like, I tried to cook that Jane. That Jane was like, nah, this ain't it. Like, I cooked it better in my air fryer, but listen, I still got to get my salmon together. But like my sister, she used to do like she used to cook some really good salmon. And I just miss calling my sister. Like, say if I'm in the store, I'm shopping by myself, I could call my sister, excuse me, and just talk about random stuff. Or even if we want to talk about our our mama, because you know how us kids do. They were like, "Mommy did this and da 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 da," but that's how we did. Like that was our relationship. Like that's a sibling relationship. Like what siblings don't do that? But you know, we still love our mother at the end of the day. But those are the type of things that I miss with my sister, like doing with my sister. My grandma, I will always just like I would try to be like intentional with visiting my grandma. At the minimum, at least once a year, just to like actually go sit with her for a couple of hours. I started doing that a couple of years before she passed, and I really enjoyed that. And sometimes I still miss doing that, but of course, I miss her sweet potato pies. Like the holiday days just ain't the same without getting her sweet potato pie. Now, granted, I can make some good sweet potato pie, and I know it's good because my grandma gave me the official stamp. So it's a say Pocket said it's good. It's good. So yeah, it's just not the same. And like her banana pudding, even though my mama know how to make it, it just ain't the same. You know, I miss her oatmeal cookies. I haven't really eaten any type of oatmeal cookies since my grandma passed because nobody makes them like my grandmother. So it's always going to be something that you're going to miss about your loved one. Like my best friend, I miss him texting me, "Good morning, BL. You know, have a great day." You know, or just saying, "I love you, best friend," whatever the case may be. And that's probably why I've been listening to Jeezy once a day since he done passed away, because I don't know, it just keeps me connected to him. And I ain't gonna talk about him too much because I might cry on this thing because it's still fresh. But also, well, not also, but lastly, I'm just gonna say grief will hit you in waves. Like you won't ever know when it's gonna hit you. Like I said, it could be something that reminded you of the person and it's gonna hit you. And you're like, dang, like where did this come from? But it's because of that memory or whatever the case may be. And I just want to say, be patient with yourself. Like, don't think that there's a time stamp on how long you should be grieving. No, it's really not. Like with my sister, it took me 3 years. It took me 3 years to really come at peace with her passing. Um, and it took a long time for me to be like, she's not here anymore, because I still felt like she was still physically on this earth, which is so crazy. Like I didn't feel like that when my dad passed. On my grandma, and I think I didn't feel like that way with them because they passed away from like health issues. Um, but maybe that's not even it. But I think it's probably it took me so long with my sister, probably because of how she died. So I had a lot of emotions going on. So it took me a long time to like really just, process it and be at peace. But yeah, so just be patient with yourself. You're gonna make it through it. Just focus on Christ. Like if your relationship is not that close with him and you believe, I say just start focusing on him harder than ever, because he will bring you through like those days you like, oh, I do not feel like being bothered. I don't want to get up. Trust me. Ask him to give you the strength. You gonna get through it. He's gonna give you the strength, because there were plenty of days that I'm like, I don't know how I made it through, but it had to be God. Like it was him, because I just wasn't feeling it that day. And I've had those days recently since, I just lost my best friend. I'm just like barely sleeping and stuff. And I'm like, Lord, you gotta give me the strength, because I got this to do at work and yada yada yada. It's like you have to continue your life. So that's why I say you really need to build your relationship with him, because he is gonna be that strength that you gonna need on those hard days. And I'm trying to tell you, believe what I tell you, because I've experienced it enough. So definitely believe what I tell you. Um, but other than that, grief is hard, and like I said, just be patient with yourself. And don't try to rush it. Just take it day by day. If you're anyone who's grieving and you need someone to talk to, I'm here. You can hop in my inbox for those purposes only. Like, you can hop in my inbox. I'm willing to be that listening ear. I'm willing to give you any advice that I may not have shared in this video. I don't know. I just want what I experienced to be able to help someone else. So that's why I said I might as well just make this video, even though I'm still grieving, and I almost cried a couple of times on this video, but I'm glad I did. I made it through because I wanted to make sure I got my message out.